All right, so let's get started with our Facilities Manager webinar today. My name is Rachel and I am the team lead for the Installation and Training Services team. Thank you everyone for attending this morning. So today we're going to be reviewing some of the new features that were released with Facilities Manager version 3.5. So just a few housekeeping items. So this session will be recorded today for quality purposes. If you have any questions, please submit them through the question panel on the right-hand side. We also have Angie with our marketing team on the call as well. And at the end of the session, she'll be reading those questions out so that we can answer any of them that come up. So on today's agenda, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking a look at the new scan range configuration options that we've added, as well as the new devices page. At the end of the session, like I said, we'll just go through any questions that you have. So the first thing that we're going to take a look at today is the scan ranges. So you have a few different options now of how to add the different scan ranges in. We've made it easier for you as a dealer to be able to add in more complex ranges that are sent to you through the customer. So what we're going to do first is I've created a new customer account. We're going to go to the primary site and we're going to take a look at the information collection engine. So this site has not been activated yet. So let's start adding in some custom ranges. So what I have here is I have a few sample ranges added that we can see from customer accounts. So the first one that we're going to add in is we're going to keep it pretty simple, and we're going to add in the simple, just basic, regular subnet. So if I go back into Facilities Manager, we have two options. We can use the default scan range still. We can use a custom scan range. And now we have two additional options here. We can add in a simple range, which is similar to the way it was before. So you just add in the starting IP address, add in the ending IP address, the subnet mask, and then if we click OK, it's going to add our range in. And a nice new feature as well is it's going to show us the number of IP addresses that it's going to be discovering. So another way that we can add the same IP address in now, we can add a pattern scan range. And we can add it as 192.168.0.1 to 254. So what we're doing is we're still scanning one subnet. We've just now made it easier to add that range in. We're going to add in the same IP address. Click OK. So again, it's going to show us the number of IP addresses that ICE will be discovering on the network. So now we can take this one step further, and we can look at another range that we have. So if you go into a customer site where you have just individual IP addresses that you want to add in, so it's not going to be a range of IPs, it's just individual IP addresses. What we can do for this example is we can add in a pattern scan range. So in this case, if we just start typing in the different IP addresses, you can see here, so you just type in the IP address. You can either use a comma or a space in between to designate the different IP addresses. And if we go to the very end, the last one, so here's the third one. Okay, add in the same subnet, click OK, and now we have this scan range in here, and again, the number of IP addresses we're going to be scanning. So we can take this one step further again, get into a little bit more of a complex range. So if we have two ranges that we need to add in, so we have two different subnets. So we have 192.168.0.1 up to 25, and then we have a second subnet at 192.168.2.1 up to 2.25, what we can do here, again, is add another scan range. Okay, so what we've done here is we're designating this as 192.168.0.0, which means we're going to be scanning the .0 subnet, starting at IP address, and then doing the .1 to .25. Then we're doing the .2 subnet for .1.25. So then again, you add in the correct subnet mask, and we can click OK. So this is a pipe here, so you can just add that in, and then that's going to allow you to have those two different scan ranges in there. Okay, so if we take a look at another example, a lot of times what we see at customer sites, especially when we start getting into larger environments, we're going to have the devices that are all within one range on different subnets or different locations. So what we can do for this example, rather than having to put them all in individually like we would have had to before, we can add in a new pattern scan range again. Okay, so in this example, what we've done, oh, I made a mistake here. Okay, so what we have here is we have our 192.168 address, then we have our subnet 1 to 10.1 to 25. Then again, we've added in our subnet range. We can click OK. It's going to give us the full number of IP addresses that we're adding in. So the nice thing that we have with this as well, another thing that we've added is we have the total IP addresses that we'll be discovering throughout the full scan. And at the very top, what we can see is the last scan duration. So if we take a look now at my other site that I have set up, back to the information collection engine, you can see that for 254 IP addresses, it has taken 17 seconds for this to scan through. Okay, so that's the new features that we've added for the scan ranges. Again, we've tried to make it as simple and easy as possible for everyone to add those ranges in, depending on the different customer needs. So the next thing that we're going to take a look at is the devices page. So in the devices page, you can quickly locate devices based on different search criteria. The more criteria you define here, the smaller the list will be, and the easier it'll be for you to find the devices that you're looking for. So we can find devices based on a dealer site. So if I keep that at all, we can find it for everything I have under my dealer account. Okay, we can limit it by customer site, and we can even narrow it down by the different sites that we have available under that customer. Okay, we can also search based on the manufacturer and model. This is a type-ahead search box, so the more of the manufacturer that you type in, the shorter the drop-down list will be. And you can also use an asterisk as a wildcard character to be able to search for different results. So if I just type in Rico with a star at the end and click Find, it's now going to find all of these different RICO devices that I have under my customer site. We also have this filter option, and with this filter option, it'll search through the device name, serial number, IP address, asset number, the location, the firmware version, and also custom field in custom field 1 and custom field 2. So again, you can use a wildcard character in here, and it'll search any of those different fields that we have available. So if I type in *7*, anything that has a 7 within it, we can see one here, we can see them here, it's going to pull up those devices for you. Okay, we can also match based on a different tracking level, whether the device is managed or unmanaged. And now we can even search based on local only or network only. So we've added this field in, so if you can easily come in here and add the different tracking levels that we want. So if we wanted to change the tracking level on these 3 devices, we can select a new tracking level that we want, and we can update those 3 devices immediately without having to go to under Administration, Customers, and then the Information Collection Engine tab on their site. Okay, and then we can also change the manage type as well. So if we click on the device name, this will automatically take us to the device details page. So again, just another easy way for you to search for different information for the different devices. The other thing we can do is if you click on the customer or the site, it will automatically take you there as well. So you can go under your devices and licensing page if you need to, or your information collection engine page, and add in additional scan ranges if that's what you need. So those are the new features that we've added in for Facilities Manager 3.5. At this point, are there any questions that anyone has?
Yeah, we actually have one question. It is, can you explain the significance of the star either before or after the input of information?
Sure. So what this is the star is a wildcard character. So if we put a star at the beginning and then we have this 7, what that means is if we do a new search based on this criteria, you're going to see that only anything ending with a 7 is what's going to be displayed. If we were to do a 7 and then a star at the end, what that means is it has to start with a 7, but it can end with anything else. So if we do a new search, it's not going to return any results. Now when we have a star at the beginning and at the end of the 7, that means anything that has a 7 in it will be displayed in our results.
Great, thank you, Rachel. We have another question. It is, how will you discover locals using FM?
Sorry, I just need to clarify that question. Is it how do you discover local devices in Facilities Manager?
It does not specify, but I'm guessing it's local devices.
Okay, so with local devices, you have to use the Print Audit 6 application to do that. Once you've started tracking your devices with Print Audit 6, what ICE will do is it's going to scan the Print Audit 6 database for those local devices and then upload that information into here for you to be able to see. So for more information on that, the best thing to do would be to contact your sales rep or your customer service manager. So for this webinar, anybody who should be on this webinar, that would either be James Hills or Paul Georgie.
Great, thank you. And there's one more question before I move on. Is there any way to exclude specific IPs in a range without starting a new range? For example, excluding all .255 IPs in a large range.
Okay, so if we take a look at that, so yes, so that would be similar. So if we add in a new pattern scan range, so what we would want to do for that one is do something similar to, we could type in 192.168.0 to, let's say if we're going up to a larger subnet of up to, let's say, 100. And then this is where we would use, oh, sorry, I did that one wrong. We would do 0. No, sorry, I did that right. 100, and then we would do dot 1 to 254. So by doing that, we're excluding that. We're telling it just to scan 1 to dot 1 to dot 254 scan range. So it should never take a look at those 255 IP addresses anymore.
Okay, great, thank you. That's all the questions that we have for now.
Okay, so Paul, we also have you online. Is there anything that you would like to add?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. I'd just like to add to everyone that this is some of the new features that we've updated into Facilities Manager. Now, as you guys know, we are doing more and more releases at a very frequent rate. So we're trying to accommodate as many market needs as possible within this system. Your feedback is important to us. So with this overview, what you're looking at is a simple overview of how we like to see this system work, but we'd like your feedback. Does this work for you? Does this simplify your process? Does this help you out? Please, and you can give us a call. You can call us here in the office. You can reach us toll-free at 877-412-8348 and ask for sales. Oh, it looks like we've got another question here, Rachel. It says, can you name the scan ranges differently?
Right now, there is no ability to name scan ranges. That is definitely something, again, if you can contact your salesperson and just let them know the business need for that, that is something that we can add in as a feature request for a newer version of Facilities Manager that comes out.
And we've got another one here from another person saying, when will the host name from the print device be available in reporting? Just to address that, that's something we'll have to take a look at in depth to find out where that host name is, what makes and models that host name is available from. But please give us a call here in the office and let's have a conversation about that in depth.
All right. Any other questions?
Sure. One last question here about the number. You can reach us toll-free at 877-412-8348 and ask for sales, and we'd be more than happy to answer your questions.
All right. Well, if there's no other questions, then I guess we are done the work for today. So again, any other questions, please contact your salesperson, and we'll get those answered for you. So thank you, everyone, for joining today. Have a good day.